Hi, it's Peter at Caffeine, and I've got yet another video talking about something that's absolutely important to the success of your business. And that's your people, that's your staff. It's a hospitality business first and foremost. You know from watching my previous videos that is a core value. Positively, hospitality is a people business. They are absolutely integral to the success of that. But at the same time, the people you work with are absolutely the biggest headache. But I can tell you from years and years of experience, what they also are, they're your biggest reward. Not only in the work that the people do for you and the success of your business, but actually watching them, seeing them grow, develop, learn, and progress. And I've done a blog post, you can see on our website, it's called Caffeine 12 Years of Legends. So I wrote it a little while ago, but it still has a list of 25 to 30 people at least who have started here in this job or in this business, worked their way up through this business, and then gone off onto bigger and better things. It's a celebration of their success. How do you find those people? So again, we have systems and processes in place to make sure we try and do that. I'm really lucky because I've been doing it for a really, really long time. So at Marylebone Cricket Club, where I used to work before opening here, for 4 years, I was a staffing manager. So my job was seeing all the CVs, doing interviews, group interviews. Before that job, I worked in a recruitment agency where I'd interview people for jobs and put them out at the jobs as well. And obviously through working here, I do lots of recruitment and interviews as well. So in my respect, I have a lot of experience. What we've done here is when you advertise for someone, that's the first most important part, because to me, I have this little analogy. It's called recruitment is like fishing. When you go to fish, you're trying to catch something for you to eat. You need to feed your family, okay? So it's the same thing with recruitment. If you don't catch a fish, if you don't catch a candidate, you're not gonna feed your family. The reverse of that is the candidate is also trying to find someone to feed themselves. So in many ways, the candidate is also going out to fish as well. What do you need when you go fishing? Bait. You need to make sure that your bait is absolutely attractive to everybody, all the fish, so they come along and they bite it. It's the same thing for a candidate. You need to make sure your CV is attractive enough for the employer to go, yes, I want that person to work for me. And we put those adverts out, we try and make them really clear, we make them really concise, we show exactly how many hours a week they're going to be working, we list the achievements that we want to do. We also say that we want people to work here, to work in hospitality, but also work in one of the best regarded coffee shops in the UK. For me, I'm okay, I'm fairly comfortable recruiting people, but as a manager, what we then do is we have these systems in place. So for example, when we start the process, you have the candidate notes, okay then? So they first apply, we go through this process, put their CV in, I send them a text message and say, hey, I'm interested in you, when can we talk to you on the phone? So we do a telephone interview first. And in that respect, you're trying to go through their CV, find out where they've been working, get an idea of the person. We write notes. We then say to them, okay, yes, no, or maybe. No, we don't want to talk to you anymore. Thank you very much, you're not suitable. Could be for many different reasons. Maybe, hi, I'm going to get back to you. I've got lots of people applying. I'm going to get back to you. Yes, please, can you come for an interview? So then they come in for the actual face-to-face interview. Now, for a person on service, that's basically a conversation. We're trying to find out what that person is like. And of course, we'll ask them questions about their previous job roles, maybe what responsibilities they had, how busy they were, how many hours they worked. For a barista, it's that, but also we sit down and talk to them about coffee. And in most cases, what I try and do is have the lead barista at the time, basically sit down and go ask them questions. What's the difference between a washed process and a natural process? Tell me about channeling, tell me about extraction, tell me about recipes, okay? And then for a barista, we get them up on the coffee machine for maybe 15 minutes. So we talk to them about how we do things, we watch them, and we're listening and learning from them how they react to the directions that we're giving. So then we get them in for the trial. That's from 7:15 until about 11:15. Remember, we open at 7:30. So they come at 7:15 so they can be settled in, we know exactly what they're doing. Okay, by 7:30 we can be smash busy, so they work for 4 hours. They're either on service or on barista or even in the kitchen as well. Okay, and they're working very closely with one particular person. And of course, we're assessing them and seeing how they do. But what's really important is they're also assessing us. You're the candidate. So you're making sure that you want this to be a place you work at, because you're potentially going to be coming here 40 hours a week working with these people for 10, 11, 12 hours a day, you want to make sure you fit in and you make the right choice. To go through all this, we have a whole lot of questions called the telephone interview, which gives the managers a little bit of direction, a little bit of guidance on the questions to ask and how to prepare, okay? We also go into what's called the face-to-face interview. I have lots of information here, how you go through a face-to-face interview, what you need to do in preparation, the questions you might ask. When they say yes, you're very happy because you've caught a fish and you're going to eat. And so you get that person to start. So in the first few days, we always put them up with somebody else and put them on as a buddy and to try very, very hard to make sure they fit into the business. They work for maybe about a week. And then, of course, what's really important to make them feel safe and secure, even more so, is they get a contract. So we sit them down and we give them a contract. There's 2 copies, one for us, one for them. I talk them through the entire thing. This is your rate of pay, this is your holidays, this is how many hours a week you're going to be working, a job description. Yeah, every person has this, your key responsibilities, the overview of the job, who you're reporting to, and also, really importantly, how you can progress, okay? So if you're a barista, your next stage, of course, is moving up to being a senior barista. Maybe then you could be a lead barista. But I'm trying to outline how these people can progress within this company. So anyone who starts within this business, we allocate time and they get paid for this, okay? And I sit them down and the first thing I do is I talk about how we opened this business back in the early days, okay? And I do this for both shops. And this is the mood folder that I had made, my wife made for me. I then go through all the photos of what this place was like before we opened, which was a really crappy, shitty old cafe. And all it had, it was like, oh, that looked like this, and that, oh my God, how different it is. And then I take them on a tour of the area. So I take a walk around for about 10 minutes and explain all this sort of area, why I chose this area, the people in this area, the businesses in this area. That's the BBC, this is the fashion area. What I used to do is come and stand outside. Before I opened here, I'd stand outside this shop and look at all the people who were walking past. And I would think to myself, yes, those people want coffee. And I try and give them a really good overview on the thinking and the processes and the reasoning behind opening this business. Some of my chefs have been working for me for 12 years, another one for 11 years, another one for 10 years. My longest serving manager worked for me for 7 years. She's still working part-time for me, 8 years in total. If you can keep your people working for you interested, motivated, your business will absolutely succeed. I'll see you next time.